All right, so AutoOne sent me this jump starter with air compressor in exchange for my honest review. And I'm excited about it. They had sent me one of their small tire inflators early in the year, and I was real impressed with the quality and the display. You know, a very easy to read display, which they don't all have. So that was more for a smaller type of car tire inflator, or great for bike tires or inflating a few tires. But this is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. This is the largest one that they have. So we're going to take this out. You're going to see how big and robust this is. So it comes already in a case, and that's all that's in the box. So there's nothing else in there, and it comes in this really nice carry case. So one of the things I like about this is when you have jumper cables and you have to put them in a netting, a lot of times they fall out the top. So it's nice that they put this zipper in there to hold all the contents in. So got some instructions, a quick guide, and we'll have some accessories in there. The main unit is going to be right here. It's pretty big and heavy. So I'm going to explain why. So they have a lot of different sizes, and this is the largest. So it looks like, because the buttons are on top, and it looks like that you would want to save this for storage to kind of keep the buttons maybe from getting pressed, I think is what that might be for. And so just to give you an idea of why this is so big, and that I said it's at the top of the spectrum, is the jump starter that I normally use and have used successfully many times is rated at 1,000 amps, and this is 10,000 amps. So there's a lot there. So you have that unit, and then up here you're gonna have this plug-in if you want to use it as a jump starter, and these would be your alligator clips. It's got a USB-A to USB-C cord, and it has these attachments for the air inflator for like sports balls and air mattresses and other things. This is the attachment that I like to use. Screws in right here at this end, and then this is like a quick connect where you put it on the nozzle and lock it in place. So this is the one that I prefer for both automotive and bicycles, which is what I use these for. And then in addition to a USB-A to USB-C, you also have USB-C to USB-C, which is nice. So over here in this tab here, you have your USB-C and USB-A right there. This is also how you charge it. You plug the USB-C in. You can charge it that way. So I want to read to you a couple of specs, because I'm not going to remember them all, just so I don't miss some uses for this and why you might decide to go with a larger one than what you might need. So I already mentioned that it's rated at 10,000 amps on the jump starting, which would be able to jump start, I think, any battery, no matter what size, a big truck you might have or whatever. Powerful enough to, help a 0-volt battery, one that's completely dead. Also, the air compressor is a dual cylinder operation, and so that helps it inflate quicker. So we're going to test that. And then it also is a power bank. So you charge this, but you can use those USB-A, USB-C ports to charge your items if your phone goes dead or whatever it might be. So it has 24,000 milliamp hour as a power station. So that's a huge amount of power station. It also says that there's 60 watt USB-C two-way fast charge, so you can power laptops, phones, all that at a very a fast speed. It also has a LED strobe light there to help if you needed light to inflate a tire at night, or you needed an emergency light. It has that also. Also has a 4-year warranty and lifetime support. So that's a lot for this item. So we're just going to look at how you could use this and kind of demonstrate that for you. So we're going to go outside to a vehicle. Alright, so we're just going to show you how you would use this to jump start a vehicle. This is my daughter's Corolla. It has a new battery in it, so it, you know, it's not like I have dead batteries sitting around to jump start. So, but this would be how you would use it. So you would get this out of the zippered pocket. You would get the unit out, and then the part by the handle, this tab, these are the plug-ins for this right here. So you can tell by the shape they only go in one way, so this will only go in this way. So the first thing I would do is just plug that in. So I haven't turned any power on or anything like that. Okay, so to jump start the car, the directions don't say that this needs to be powered on. So you plug this into here, you take your positive cable off, or cover off if you have one. Positive first. Make sure you have a secure connection. And then negative, and you hear the click. So the power's not on, but you can hear the click. So within 30 seconds, you're to go start your car, get out, take the negative off, then take the positive off. And so that's how you do the jump starting of the vehicle with this item. Alright, we're going to demonstrate the use of this as an air compressor. So we're going to get this attachment out of the thing and rotate this into here. And then these tires on this Honda Pilot are supposed to be at 32 psi. We've let some air out to put them right around the 27 mark. So about 5 psi down. So just put this on and quick connect it like that. We're going to hold in on the power button till it powers up. Love the display on this. So what this is saying is that for a car, it's preset goal of 36. So the mode button, excuse me, this is going to serve as your power on off button and also as your start button for the compressor. The M button is your mode, which toggles your presets. So for a car, they've got it set at 36 psi. For a bicycle, they got it at 35, or maybe that was a motorcycle. Bicycle 45, basketball 8, and then this is custom, goes all the way up to 150, and you adjust it with the plus minus. So for the car, we want to minus it to 32, which is the goal for this car. So it's reading 26. Another tire pressure gauge I had said 27. So now we're going to start it with the button, and I'm going to time it of how long it takes for it to get to 32. So I'm going to start my timer. Very quick. 41 seconds. All right, so that's up to 32. So this is just another pressure gauge I have. Just gonna check it with it. Okay, yep, it's reading 32.1. So that's very accurate. It shuts itself off after a few seconds, which will help preserve your battery life. Now I'm curious, if I turn this on again, is it going to go back to the 36 or is it going to stay at the 32? Okay, it's going to go back to the 36. I do like how easy it is to change, and also that they just go in increments of 1 psi. I have some of these air compressors that go to 1/10 of a psi, which is ridiculous. So to change at 1 psi, you got to hit a button 10 times. So I'm glad that they're regular psi's, and I also like how easy that display is to see. It's very nice. And then just to show you the light function real quick, the light button is up here and your light is right there. So I need to turn it on first because it just shut off on me. And then I'm going to hit the light once. It turns on like that. If I hit it again, it's like an SOS mode. And then there's a red. And then off. So you can just toggle that like that. Now if I just put it on and then I use the light and then I long press it, I wonder if it'll just go off. Yep. So you don't have to toggle through all the different settings. So it's very nice, and I was very impressed with the speed of that tire. Alright, so we've used a tire pressure gauge to get this down to 27 psi, which is 5 pounds below the 32 pound target. So this is the Etenwolf S6, and it's set at a target of 35. So we're going to make that target 32. Okay. Alright, so we're going with the 27 psi on this for all the tests so that they're equal. So we're not going to worry about the discrepancy there. We're going by this one for the starting point. Okay, so good job on that one too. So one thing about this one, the Etenwolf, is you'll notice a couple of unique things about it. One is it seems to be a variable speed, whereas it approaches the target, it starts to slow down to avoid overshooting it. The other thing I want to point out on here is this red circle is a progress bar. So the circle's complete when you reach your 32 psi. So if you started with a tire that was half of that, 16 psi, the red circle would go halfway around. So it's like a progress bar. So anyway, the other thing you'll notice about this one is it does overshoot slightly, but it also comes with this little button here where you can let air out if you want to get it exact to, you know, your target, like that. So you can do that, and then we're just going to verify with ours that it's real close to the 32, and yeah, 31.8. So that's good. Alright, we have our Milwaukee inflator. Turn the power button on. Got a full battery. This one you have to manually start. It always starts at 0. So we're going to go up to 32 psi. We have used this tire gauge to get this tire down to 27 psi. So we're going to put 5 psi in it. So we thread this connection on there. We're not going to worry that says 27.5 because I'm comparing inflators, so I'm using this gauge to put all of them at 27. Okay, I was a little late on that. I'm going to count that as 57 seconds. Then I'm just going to double check the pressure with this gauge, 31.6. Alright, so we compared 3 what I consider very high quality, all legitimate tire inflators. So the one from AutoOne was the quickest to 5 psi, and with the same tires. They all started at 27 psi, they all ended at 32 psi. The AutoOne did it in 41 seconds. The Etenwolf S6 did it in 48 seconds, and the Milwaukee did it in 57 seconds. So what I hope you learned from watching wasn't just the time that it took, because let's be honest, if you're inflating a tire a few seconds longer, probably isn't a big deal. It's not like we're in a race on a pit stop in pit lane. So you got to see other aspects of them, how easy they were to begin, how long it took to set them to the right pressure, what did the display look like, all of those things. So hopefully that was helpful for you to see 3 very high quality compressors, tire inflators, and for those that are available to purchase, I think all of these are available. I'll try to put links for you in the video description so you could make your decision on which one to purchase. So I hope this has been helpful, and very impressed with the quality of AutoOne. This is the second compressor that they've sent me. So I'll put links in the video description. If there's any discount codes to AutoOne or anything like that, I'll include those in the video description. So thank you for watching.